basically Nixon and JFK, they changed the meaning of things or did stuff like astronauts. They would say that astronauts. They're not astro, and no one there really knew what astro meant. And they also did things like Congress. To be, if you look it up in the dictionary, in the old dictionaries, it would say to Congress means to have sex with. If you're in Congress, you're currently having sex with someone. So anyway, they just changed all those meanings around. So a little bit and tried to put their meanings forth, basically. And basically, that's all Congress. They're basically telling the universe basically they're in sex or having in sex group or whatever. That's all that meant. So anyway, so by saying they're the U.S. Congress group, they're basically just the U.S. sex club, pretty much. So anyway, people thought that it had to do with the government, and it didn't. Never did. So they're just the United States sex group that was going around having sex with all the women, and led to shooting and killing and raping and also that piracy and all kinds of stuff. So basically, people thought that they were the Congress group, which would they came into power or whatever as the Congress group, which is basically just drug sex group, basically. And then later on, they were trying to run the government or whatever, and basically just a sex group. So anyway, people kind of knew them as the Congress group, which meant to have drugs and sex together or whatever. So, and then the people of the future wouldn't really understand what United States Congress meant because just by changing the the printed the printed dictionaries. So they would have some legitimacy or whatever, as some people might not understand what Congress meant. So they go around saying that they're congressmen, which means sex men. So anyway, yeah, that's what that really means. So anyway, I knew that. Other people knew that, and like whatever. And like people of the future would or people and would see the Congress group or whatever, or congressmen, and maybe not know that they were just basically a sex group that used drugs, or maybe they would know. So anyway, yeah, they should really change that around to be like the United States sex group, whatever, that had drugs. So anyway, that's what it means. You can look it up in the dictionary, in an old dictionary. To Congress means to have sex with, or something like that. And whatever, I don't really care or know. I mean, it's just something I knew from the past. But anyway, so Germany knew what they were, and everyone knew what they were, and basically it had nothing to do with the government or anything. They were basically product testing the world. Pretty much was how they were getting by with checks or whatever. Basically, product testing women, product testing cars, product testing. They were in product testing or body testing or something like that, and basically stealing money from the taxpayers, and led to gun stealing and basically money laundering and all kinds of stuff and drugs and sex and basically, yeah. So yeah, that's what they did, and basically led to the spreading of crabs and all kinds of sexually transmitted diseases because they didn't have condoms. They didn't use condoms. They didn't believe in condoms, so they just basically spread their sexually transmitted diseases all over the world as they went from one country to another country congressing. Apparently, that was Richard Nixon's or JFK's idea, whatever, and charging the taxpayers money for their Congress group. Hey, whatever. Yeah, that's what that meant. So apparently, by printing dictionaries, they had somehow changed their name quite a little bit around or something like that. So I knew it, and whatever, Yeah, I was like, what the hell? They're just a sex group. So, and other people knew that too. So, anyway, anybody who knew the United States, Jimmy Carter or John McCain or any of those others would know that they're just a sex group. So, had a lot of sex with a lot of women, and then people would find out that it was usually forced or raped, and they're using the white submarines to basically pop up and then go and do their commando runs, which is basically thong or whatever, and basically so they didn't because one of them ripped their clothing and Germany traced it back to the clothing manufacturer and even the day it was sold by the cloth. So anyway, and so after that, John McCain made sure that they never had clothing on. But then they cut themselves, and we traced it back to them individually. So anyway, lots of different things. They're constantly being caught by the American people and by everyone, basically, because like they left a scrap of clothing behind one time, and we traced it, and they traced it back to the clothing and the person, and then they left a bit of DNA, and then we traced it back to the person, and all kinds of stuff. Forensics has always been around the world, so has DNA testing. So anyway, they're trying to say that there was no DNA testing before 19. Yes, there was. There was cloning before 1800. They had cloning in 18 something or other. It was the first clone. Yeah, that's when they actually cloned the sheep. Was back in the past. The current cloning of the sheep was not cloning of the sheep, but cloning of a person. So a little bit twisting around of everything. You know, saying that, well, we cloned the first sheep. No, they actually cloned that first sheep back in 1820. What they did recently was more a cloning of a person, trying to lie to the American people and lie to everyone. So all the doctors knew, and then I think they might have killed the doctors. So knew that it was cloning of a person. So in 1920. So they cloned the sheep back in 1820. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, so all kinds of things were twisted around, changed, and all that. And they actually cloned like 30 women or something, or 30 men, which became JFK or something. So anyway, yeah. And they were all psychopaths. So anybody who dug up the records on the 1820 cloning project would know that basically cloned a sheep in 1820, and then in 1920 they actually cloned a person. So anyway, and that's what they were doing. So anyway, yeah. And later on, I don't know. Whatever. And JFK was like, "Oh, why me? They're treating me so horribly." Well, he was a psychopathic killer and a rapist. That's why they're treating him horribly. So anyway. Yeah. He was a psycho. Anyway, yeah. So that's who Nixon and JFK was. One psychopathic person on the world. Crazy. Hey, whatever. I wondered if it was a cloning project or what, but maybe it was JFK or Nixon or someone. Yeah, they were crazy and psycho. So anyway, failed cloning experiment was what JFK was. So anyway, whatever. Trying to say that I was a failed cloning experiment. No, I wasn't. I'm Lucifer Star. Anyway, they tried to do all kinds of twisting around of facts and basically going to schools and petitioning or whatever. But they're, saying they're actually petitioning for this or petitioning for that, but they're actually I don't know. Basically trying to subvert the world using the perception rail or some shit. It didn't really work. So anyway, and most people just laughed or didn't take JFK seriously until he was later on bombing countries and saying, "Do you take me seriously now?" and being a psychopath. So anyway, yeah, good luck with that. He is a psychopath. There are a few psychopaths in the world. So anyway, whatever. Good luck. Happy trails.